All right. Today we're going to be talking about a really fast and easy way to be able to acquire clients for your business. This is where most people seem to struggle, right? They get excited about the idea of being able to have more freedom in their own company. They want to be able to manage their own schedules and do all of this fun stuff, which is great. But then it comes to actually finding a client. And for a lot of people, this can be scary just because it's new. Once an individual has learned how to do it, then it becomes kind of second nature. It's like riding a bike, right? The first time you get on, it's probably going to be wobbly, you're going to be uncomfortable, lose your balance. But once you figure it out, it's something you could get on a bike, after 5 years of not riding one and do just fine. So today I want to talk about some principles that'll make your life much, much easier when it comes to, again, acquiring a client in your business. Generally, the best thing that you can do is what other people are not willing to do. And I know that can be tough, but it's a surefire way to be able to produce revenue for your company and make some money. So number one, if you're working in service-based arbitrage, trying to find home service businesses, one of the best things that you could do is just hop on to Google, right? Like you could hop on and type in HVAC companies in Nashville, Tennessee, right? And what you'll find is hundreds of companies that pop up. Interestingly enough, a lot of the numbers that are listed on Google are actually the business owner's cell phone because they're kind of one or two man shops, mom and pop type businesses. And so the cell phone of the owner is listed. That's really, really helpful because you don't have to go through a decision or a gatekeeper, right, to be able to get to the decision maker. In a lot of cases, especially if you're selling to larger companies, there's going to be several people that you need to go through before you can actually speak to the individual that's able or willing to pull the trigger on the deal. What's so nice about service-based arbitrage, again, is you can get right to the decision maker super fast, right, within one call. So I would highly suggest if you're trying to get a deal utilizing service-based arbitrage, man, Google's a great place to start. It's awesome. This goes for businesses that are generally in the B2B world, right? Business to business. Google will work well because you can search for businesses in a given area and you're going to get a lot of results, which is awesome. Number two, I would highly suggest, again, if you're in B2B, we'll talk about some B2C solutions as well. But with B2B, there's some really great software that will actually go scrape search engines and aggregate the data into a CSV file. This is awesome because you can take that CSV file and upload it into a CRM. And once again, if you watched my previous video, I would recommend getting a free CRM until you're up and running to where you can afford to pay for one, right? But you can upload all of that information that you scrape or pull from the internet into a really, really nice customer management system that allows you to kind of store an individual's name, their phone number, any notes that you have about the individual, where they're at in a particular pipeline, if you have an appointment set, if they closed, if they didn't close, etc. Right? So find some software that will make your life easier, right? That stuff is awesome. My own company, Tuple, we closed over 200 locations just through cold calls like this. Okay. Really, really cool. 200 different locations we were able to help. And we did, or over 200 locations, and we did that through cold calling. Exciting stuff. I love that. The third thing I would recommend, and this would be more on the B2C side, but it's a surefire way to get clients. If you want to make money fast and do it in a way it's not hard, it can be tedious. And again, you can outsource this, is through DMs, direct messages, right? Almost every single social media platform has a way that you can actually communicate with individuals through a direct message. If you're on Instagram, right, it's a great place you can reach out to people. You want to be careful not to send too many messages in a day because it can hurt your account. However, if you're sending, 30-ish right around there, you should be just fine. 30 or 40. It used to be higher, and I think they've lowered it. But DMs is a great way to start a conversation and to get people on the phone. In sales, when you're trying to get your first client, what you're actually doing is trying to sell an appointment first. You're not trying to sell through DMs. You're just trying to get people on the phone or on a Zoom call, and then you're going to call or then you're going to close, which is a perfect system. It's a great process to be able to utilize in your own business. So again, if you're going to reach out to people through social media and DMs, you're going to try to get an appointment and then close them when you are on that appointment. Oftentimes when people try to sell through DMs, it ends up not going the way they would have hoped, and their close rate suffers drastically because of it. right? But again, if you're in the B2B world or even B2C, LinkedIn can be great. We found a good chunk of clients on LinkedIn, and that's a great place to go. And there's some really cool automation you can use there. We won't dive into that in this video, but again, you can use some software to help automate this outreach, and it's very inexpensive. And so it saves you money and it makes you money. That's a really good combo, right? When you're running a business, it's awesome. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about here, and this is really important, so I'm glad if you stuck around to the end, is number 4, consistency. Okay, so Google can work, software can work, DMs can work, cold email that can work, setting up some sequences, following up, all of those things, right? Follow up is huge, by the way. But it all has to be done consistently. It can't be like hey, I'm going to try this for a week and then give up, right? Or I'm going to do this for a day and then, man, I didn't get somebody on the line in one day, so I'm going to give up. What you want to do is iterate your processes, iterate your messaging and your copy. So, for example, let's say you're sending messages on Instagram through DMs and you're not getting a lot of hits. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means you got to change your bait, right? It's like if you go fishing and you throw in a line with only a hook on it, not a lot of fish are going to want to bite it. You've got to put some really nice bait on there that they're attracted to, and then you'll get some bites and catch some fish. So if you were out fishing on a lake and you saw one person catching fish, they may having a great experience. And it's because they understand the processes. That maybe a person only 20 yards down on the same shore is struggling and not catching fish, and they may have a different mentality, thinking, "Oh man, I hate fishing. This doesn't work." Well, they're fishing in the same lake and it obviously works, but one person is doing the right thing and the other one is not utilizing a system or process that actually gets results. So I hope this was helpful. Okay. So if you're in the B2B world or B2C world, there's some great ways to be able to reach out to people without having to run ads and spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You can do it without ads. It's just being willing to put in the work and the time to craft your messaging and dedicate 30 minutes to an hour just reaching out to people, and you will get messages back and you will close deals if you're willing to hop on the phone and send some messages. I hope this is helpful. Quick review, top to bottom, of what we covered today. Number 1, we can use search engines to find businesses, especially in the B2B world, like Google, right? Number 2, we can make it even easier by utilizing some software that can aggregate data, scrape data from online that can be moved into a CSV file that you could upload into a CRM. Number 3, you can utilize DMs, which are prevalent on all social media outlets. Again, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I think Twitter. Does Twitter have DMs? I don't know if Twitter has DMs, but I know those 3 have DMs, which is stellar. And then we want to be following up big time, and we want to be consistent. Okay, it's awesome. Character is found in consistency. So if you want to be a legitimate business owner, a little bit legitimate salesperson, you got to be consistent. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. You guys deserve the best. We'll chat with you soon.